What's good, you guys? It's Tacos All Day. I got my good friend and my bro here.
Kami.
Detox.
And we're going to do another podcast for y'all, if y'all didn't already see it. We're going to try something different. We're going to go into something serious in a way. It's jealousy and help.
Yes. And jealousy and help, as in forms of how they go hand in hand and how they both have many different forms. So, Taco, if you wanted to start it off, you definitely could, or if you would want me to go ahead and start that, you can.
I think it'd be cool if you started it out. That way I can bounce off of you and see where you're going to go with it first.
Okay.
Because we got quite a bit of topics.
Man. Okay, so prepare yourself for this one. So the first form of jealousy that I'm gonna bring up is gonna be called frenemies. Okay, so frenemies, I believe we all have encountered more than a few. Me in my personal life, I have a specific situation where we were kind of both frenemies to one another, except I didn't act on my, I guess you want to say, even just malicious thoughts, okay? And that may be a bit harsh to say malicious, but hear me out. So, I have my friend, and for privacy reasons, I'm not gonna say any names, okay? But I have my friend, and my friend always got all the games. He always got everything he wanted, and it just seemed like his life was perfect, and he was just, oh yeah, he'd come to school, he'd have all the Game Boy Advance, he just, everything, he always had it. And I just felt like he was spoiled, you know what I'm saying? And that was me being a friend of me, because, you know what I'm saying, I would go over his house and I'll play those games, and I thoroughly enjoyed spending time with this person, you know what I mean? But I just felt like, dang, bruh, so you got, you know, both your parents, you got a sibling that live with you, that's cool, that's not, you know what I'm saying, trying to kill you every day. You get rides to school while I'm catching the bus. You get everything you have, you know what I mean? It's just given to you without second thought. You don't have to do anything spectacular. I ain't never seen you pick up a broom to do any chores, you know? And I'm like, dang. So what I did, you know what I mean, I always thought of like, man, and it wasn't malicious in to say, it was just kind of like, I'm jealous. Like, man, why not me? Like, what did I do not to deserve what he has? What did I do? That's bullshit. He has all this stuff and I don't. Why? Now, not to say that I got less than any child when I was younger, but it was just like, damn. You have all this and some, and I got just this. Now that's my thoughts, right? Now, of course, I was raised a different way. I was raised to be patient. I was raised to have, you know, gratefulness to what I do have, which I was grateful. However, it was just annoying to have to just be the good person instead of being like, it'd be a shame if, you know, all your PS2 and, yeah, this is a little while back, by the way. Said PS2. Your PS2, your PSP, and your Dreamcast. It'd be a shame if, you know, like they got ran over by, you know, a bus twice. You know, it'd be a shame. Yeah. But I never really acted out any of that stuff. However, and vice versa, he would be hating on me and how when my family got together, there ain't no drama. My family got together, there's all love. My family got together, we happy, we doing all this fun stuff. And he would be like, dang, I'm in a house full of people and we don't do shit. And it's like, I didn't know that, you know, until later on, where it's like, damn, like that's how you really feel? So that's why you went and you would tell my mom, you would dry snitch on some stuff that me and you just both did. But you would make it seem like it was my idea. It wasn't my idea. But you would make it seem like, yeah, you're the one that, you know, just made me do everything, and I'm the bad guy. Kami's the bad guy always. You know what I mean? So now whenever my family get together, now I'm getting my ass kicked because you done dry snitched on me. And I guess that made him, feel accomplished in a way. Like, yes, you don't have that peace anymore. And I think that also, and I'm going to tie it into help here. And I believe that comes from a person reaching out, and subconsciously he's reaching out for help because he's like, somebody needs to feel how I feel. Why am I the only one feeling like this? Why are you always happy? Why do you feel so confident? Why are you always smiling? Why do you go home and you don't got nobody there, but all of a sudden you come to school with all this stuff to talk about? Why? So that's just to give y'all, my own personal experience that I have went through, and I tied that to persons reaching out for help subconsciously through malevolent actions, much like a kid who wants attention, who would, knowing damn well he about to get bad attention, he's gonna get attention, period.
Right.
Well, I want attention, so let me go grab mama's china, the best and biggest one, and let me go play baseball with it and see how long it lasts. So that's really just, and that's only the first little bit. That's only the tip of the iceberg. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure Detox and Taco may have something to add on to that.
Go ahead, let Daniel do before I go ahead and give my 2 cents.
Okay.
Well,
since you the bigger brother.
As growing up, I don't really remember hanging out with too many people as a kid because we would always move, so making friends would be kind of like, it wasn't really that important because you would always lose the friend a week after, like a month or a year later, because we'd move to another state or another location and they wouldn't be there. So as a kid, I never really worried about how many friends I could keep permanent because there was no Facebook, there was no phone, there were phone calls, like even like we have today. There's phones, but as a kid, you couldn't get phone numbers and give phone numbers because you had to ask the parents for permission. So back in our day, I'm just we're going back. So I never really had like the frenemy aspect, but I do understand what you're going with. As a kid that was my same age, I would be like, he's stability, he doesn't move everywhere, he's always good. They've been in this house since he was born, and he's here 10 years later. I don't think I've ever had that when I was that age. So I was like, I want that, but at the same time, nothing I can do about it because I'm a kid. So I didn't really necessarily have the jealousy in a way of my thoughts of I want to do something about it because I want to. It's just more along the lines of just deal with it. At some point, maybe it'll work out. If not, it's cool. But just that's like, I didn't really have much in front of me. I did have a friend at one point that was racist, but when I found out about that, I was just like, let me cut him off. Now, on the other hand, there was actually one kid that I did get close with back in elementary school, and we were cool all the way up until I think 9th grade, because I was in the state for about 5 years. Right, so his name was I can't remember his name, but it was.
Was it Hayden?
It was one of them. Can't say the name, but it was one of them. It was like one of those guys. Yeah, like another friend of ours, another close friend I would call a brother that I still talk to today. Him and 2 others that we've known since we've moved. Now, actually, that reminds me of also another story. When I came back to Maryland back in high school, because that was when I was in 11th grade, 12th grade. So by that time, I had already moved at least maybe 5 or 6 times. There were some close friends that I still kept to date, and then when Facebook came out, we became friends again. We was cool. So when I did move and we had to introduce ourselves, that was the first year I finished out an actual school year without moving. And when I told the students and teachers about, how we would move all the time, somebody was like, really? You moved all the time over there? Like, you moved that many places? I didn't think of much of it then, but now thinking of it now, I realize he must have been in the same state his whole life, or the same area his whole life, not knowing that, you can go to Mississippi, you can go to Virginia, you can go to California for a little while, you can go to Texas, drive through the bottom states, go down south, go up north. You can just go everywhere driving and see everything, live there sometimes, get their food, everything. And it dawned on me that this person may have only lived in Laurel, Maryland their entire life, up to 17 years. So what I'm saying is possibly that just because you feel another way towards something doesn't necessarily mean that's the only way, because someone else could also feel that towards you without even realizing that there's more than just what they envision in their perspective.
So jealousy, which, you know, it can lead to or is caused by being envious. At a young age, I was really jealous and envious of everybody. They have this, they have that.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't we have this? Why don't we have that? But at a certain age, personally, I started to differentiate jealousy to a need and want situation. Do you want that? Yes. Do you need that? No. You know, like when I was in basic training, I didn't finish. You know, stuff happens. So I'll go on social media, and I see the people that were in my platoon, Korea, Germany. Do I get jealous? Of course I get jealous. But I don't know how that would, you know, like my life would be affected, like how my life would be right now, you know, if I was still in. So I try not to think about it. You know, I'm doing what I'm doing now, trying to get ahead. But, you know, like I said, at a young age, I learned to differentiate, like what you need, what you don't need, what you want, what you don't want. And you can't focus on it too hard because, like you know, I was telling you earlier, it can make you sick. If you want something like somebody else has, it can make you sick, mentally make you sick, and that could cause, you know, that could turn to physical pain, fatigue, wrinkles. You know, you frown a lot, but it all boils down to, is that going to better your life? Some things it will, some things it won't. But item-wise, cars, women, money, how is that going to affect you? Like, because you don't need that stuff. You might want it, but you don't need it. So you don't necessarily need what somebody else has to get ahead in life. It's how you perceive it.
Okay. Just how J. Cole even said that, you know, when you get up here, you will see it's really not a whole lot. I thought I was going to get happiness when the big house and the money and all the cars came, still sitting in that big house and with all this money in my car crying.
It's like what Biggie said, more money, more problems.
Yes.
That's why every so often I like to go back to Ludacris's song "Grass Is Greener," where he would say in one verse, I had a fro, but then I wanted to scratch my head, so I cut that shit off, and then I missed the fro, so I grew it back. I went to the gym, got a 6-pack. I was working out great. Next thing you know, I wanted to kick back, got a gut. You know, he was always one end to the other end because he missed the other side when he got the other side. You know.
Okay. True. I've actually never heard that song before.
What?
Like, there's a video for it too.
Bruh.
It's so funny.
After this is over, I'm gonna play that for you because I listen to that all the time.
I have never.
It's amazing, bruh.
Never ever heard that song before. Another talking point I wanted to bring up is coworkers. Okay.
Those guys and gals.
But before I go to coworkers, I want to finish off frenemies by kind of identifying the good parts and the bad parts of the jealousy of the frenemies, okay? So, of course, it was the constructive, at first it was the destructive, okay? Which is the, man, why he got all that? Man, he got both parents, people to live in a house with, and he get all the clothes and the games and all that. Man, the hell? That's destructive thinking, okay? Then on the other hand, when I finally realized of how he was thinking about what I had, it made me just appreciate everything that I had, and I was also, it was constructive to me because it was like, dang, I'm looking at him thinking this, and he looking at me thinking a certain way, and I'm like, wow, okay, so that's real interesting, and it helped me grow. So that was a building moment. So that's why it's constructive. And that's the good side and the bad side of those forms of jealousy.
And real quick, adding to that point, the first thought of jealousy usually comes from a distasteful moment, a disgust, or something negative. Meaning a thought in your head saying, Why not me? Why not this? What about me? Usually the first negative thought that pops into your head, and I like to say usually it's not about the most it's not the most important part, it's the one that comes after that, what you do after that. You can feel and think, I don't got this, I don't got that, he has this, she has this, I want that. But then you think about it, but what about this? Maybe if I don't, is it okay? You start to think, my actions after my thoughts are what's important overall than my first initial thought of this negativity. Should I let this negativity rule me?
Exactly, and that's where my home training really kicked in. Is my mom did not raise me to act on said malevolent thoughts. I think that's how you say it.
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Thank you.
Malevolent.
Okay. Cool. So that's two good sides, and of course, with the help part, like you said, obviously, I needed help because my first thought was like, "Wow, he got both parents, man, and he got this." I'm thinking at one point in time you could only have one or the other, So I needed help in understanding that. Also, he needed help because his family was not from what I seen. Whenever I was able to go over and talk to mom and talk to his just loud ass dad. His dad was like really loud. Like he echoed 3 times his mouth before it left. But anyways, talk to him and talk to his brothers and all that stuff. I'm like, damn man, y'all all y'all is cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, what? I wish I had that, But then turns out is what goes on behind closed doors. That's what happens, and that's what really shapes a person. So he needed help. So jealousy, usually, I believe, and you guys can disagree with me if you want, usually springs from needing help and not having it. You agree or disagree?
I do agree.
You agree?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm thinking about it, and I can relate to the agree side of that. I'm leaning toward the agree side of that because I can't really think of anything that deny, negate, or go against that. So yeah, I agree.
Okay. Cool. And well, now I guess we can get to coworkers. I'm pretty sure Detox may have some stuff dealing with coworkers. We shall not be naming any names, okay? So we can use different kind of names.
Let's say everybody's a Joe Bob.
Let's call her Rakisha. I'm making that name up.
Okay.
All right, that'll work.
Cool. And we can talk about how coworkers and jealousy have a certain type of power. So before you start, I want to just give you a kind of a outline of where we kind of want you to go. I don't want you to go on like a huge rant and I hate you. What we talk about again?
No, I'm not going to
okay. Yeah, so
I already got that up.
Yeah, so my thing with coworkers is you don't always let them know what's going on in your life. And I specifically say that because they can potentially hold a great amount of power to try and set you back by either getting you fired or demoted. Now, Detox, would you be able to have a experience that you would like to share with us? Okay, let's get it.
So I used to work at Walmart before, and I left in 2014. Came back in 2017.
Okay.
And I had 2 friends there. So I come back, and they're like, "Oh yeah, he came back. Steven came back. Yeah, he's back." So it was a new manager that became friends with them, and she was mad at me. She was like, "Oh, I was trying to take her friends, which were my 2 best friends, take them from her." So she literally hated me. She was like, you. And she kept saying that. So then one night they called me. It was like, "Oh, we about to go hang out. You want to come hang out?" I was like, "Sure." So I hop in the car with them. We go down to Baltimore or whatever, and they all get out of the car. I get out the car. And I'm like, "Hey, what's up, friend?" She was like, "No, you don't have to really call me that. Blah blah blah. You know I hate you." I'm like, "Okay." So it was 2 other people with her, but one's my friend. So the night eventually goes on, and I'm noticing that her and her 2 friends aren't talking to me, and I work with one of her friends. He's my manager. They didn't talk to me. So
Okay.
after that whole that passed, at the end of the night, she's like, "Okay, I might have misjudged you." I was like, "Yeah, you better had." then we went, and then I went home. I come in the next day. I was thinking, my manager was like, "You don't like me, do you?" Because she didn't like me. He was like, "No, that's not true." I was like, "Yes, it is. Just tell me, because you didn't talk to me at all. You just blew me off." He was like, "Okay, I'm sorry." And as time goes on, I'll see her every now and again. I saw her last week. And she's like, "Hey, Steven, what's up? Hey, friend." It gives me a hug. I was like, I don't know how we got to that point, but last time I heard, you hated me. So I don't know how we got to the point of you saying hi and hugging me. But I didn't let it faze me at all. I was like, you know what? You're going to do you, I'm going to do me. I'm not jealous of you. You jealous of me because I'm trying to steal your friends. They're my friends first. You was just a holding place. I ain't telling her that.
It looks like we have some tea here.
But
I'm gonna go ahead and take a sip, but my cup is away from me.
But yeah, it's water under the bridge now. You know what I'm saying? It's in the past. I wasn't gonna be negative to her, even though she was negative to me.
Okay.
But that jealousy and frenemies and coworkers.
Okay. So actually, that ties into the two words that I have under the difference, the coworker jealousy. So vindictive, which is what it seemed like she was.
Oh, she was
having her friend no longer be your friend just because she didn't like you, so she had to in turn not like you too.
She was that thing underneath the table legs when it's crooked. You got to balance it. So I came and kicked it out.
Okay. Seems like no hard feelings, of course.
None.
Right. Oh,
We hope.
So, and you know what? And ultimately, I believe it turned into benevolence, because of course, hey friend, with a hug and all that good stuff. And you don't know how you got to that part.
I don't.
However, there must have been some words that you didn't hear get said, and somebody must have been speaking to be received, and she was listening to understand. Shameless plug. This other video.
Actually, I remember how now.
Here we go.
Here we go.
So her friend was my manager. He had a party at his house, so I went with my friend that was her friend.
Okay.
But I went there at the party, and she was flat out drunk. I was like, "Hey, what's up?" And she was like, "You cool now?" And that was the story. And that was it. I was like, okay. My friend looked at me and was like, "I don't know, man. She's drunk."
That's
and
surprisingly simple.
And after that, I was like, "Hey, what's up? Hey, Steven." I was like, okay. That's a true story.
It's hard to believe. I can see.
Joking.
So, no, it's not choke. It's just I really don't know how to formulate a sentence based on just hey, you're cool now. I mean,
she was pissed drunk.
Okay, and then it
it
carried over weeks ago.
Yeah,
this was weeks ago.
No, this is like this might have been like a period of like 4 or 5 months.
That she hated you.
She hated me. I saw her at a party once. You're cool.
One time.
Well,
folks, just like that, we have it. Vindictive can turn into benevolence with, of course, a little help from outside.
Yeah.
I won't always say drugs, because I'm not going to really condone that here.
But sometimes you just need a little bit of liquid courage.
Yeah, liquid courage and especially
liquid encouragement.
Yeah. Yeah. So that was that was interesting. So I actually have my own story, but I think I'll share after.
I don't have a story because whenever I worked at a job, I was with coworkers that were cool. None of them were angry. None of them were spiteful.
Okay.
None of them were petty. It was pretty much just professional adults, and I'm happy about that.
Oh wow! Okay.
Yeah. So I don't have a jealousy type story with me. However, I do have one. Watching them is kind of drama, but I watched someone have jealousy towards their coworker simply because they were like 4 feet taller.
And what? I'm sorry. You said 4 feet taller?
I'm not lying. She's like 4'3".
Okay. So there's no way he's 8 foot.
When you look at them, it's like, damn, that's 4 feet difference.
Yeah.
Because she's a meter stick. He's like a wall.
Okay. Okay. And
so like this, she was working there for a year before I was there. Like so, she was there for a full year. This guy and me, we joined roughly around the same month. I joined, and then he joined 2 weeks later.
Okay.
He was still new, so he was trying to get with the program. It was a sales job at a gym.
Okay.
So he was doing personal training side. I was doing sales membership side.
Okay.
So she was the manager. He was the new guy, and she was pretty much trying to tell him the ropes, how to get him everything. When it turns out that not only is he tall, but I guess he was handsome in a way. I don't know.
Okay.
Because all the women just kept flocking to him. So
Okay.
he would get more signups than she would in his first month that she did in the whole year.
Ooh.
So I saw the jealousy build. And then at some point, she started taking him off the schedule to give him less signups as the new guy within a month. To eventually, he was being fired because he wasn't getting any sales. Simply because she didn't want to lose sales to the guy that was getting more than her.
Man, that's really.
And I'm sorry, but not only that, but she also several times said, "Oh, I can't stand his pretty face," or she was literally making it about how he looked. Because he couldn't sell, he wasn't really that good. Because again, he was new, so he was shy, he was nervous, but he would still get him because he was a guy that was handsome, that was tall, selling personal training memberships because they thought he was training them.
Okay.
As opposed to her, which is about 4 feet, and she was stocky. So she was kind of, thick, like fat thick,
So she was fat in a gym, working in a gym.
Yeah, so
Fine.
she was just livid with everything. He was in shape. He was a baseball player. So every aspect about him, she hated. Ultimately firing him because she didn't want to see him getting more than her.
Okay. So let me get this straight. So she's short. She's fat.
Yeah.
In a gym.
Yep.
Where you're selling personal training schedules.
Not just schedules, but like, days, dates, packets, all that.
Yeah. And she was highly vindictive.
Oh, yes.
Toward a tall.
He was fair-skinned, you could say.
Okay, so he was tall, light skin, probably had green eyes or some hazel type.
It was like light blue, baby blue stuff.
Okay, so he had the baby blue eyes.
I'm just like, did this guy come out of Abercrombie and Fitch?
And yeah,
I was just like, what are you doing here, bro?
So that and I don't even know. You know what? We're gonna chalk it up to perception, okay? And I'm gonna say he went on to do greater things, and essentially she was being so vindictive towards him that he ended up leaving that place to go to better and greater things. So essentially, she was being benevolent in such a way. Now, did she need help? And was she mad? Yes, undoubtedly. The only reason why she was mad was because she's short, she's fat, and she's selling the exact opposite of what she is to everybody else. And it doesn't look like if you go to a barbershop and your barber's hairline looks like
non-existent.
a 4-year-old decided to try to draw the Rocky Mountains, you're not gonna go to that barber. Yeah, I got you. No, you good. I'm actually. I got this thing to do over there. That's not over
What
here.
you want? Give me that Stevie Wonder.
Yeah, you know. I have a 4 head, not a 46 head. So just okay, cool. So that's actually very interesting.
Like I understand what you're saying with this because she was so negative and literally cost him his job. She pretty much sped up the process of getting to a better spot because she got rid of him.
Exactly. With my experience with it, I do. I used to do private security escorts, and I used to work at a high level building. Not good for just privacy purposes. It's a federal building. I'm not gonna say any names. Not gonna say any kind of anything. But just know, I worked in D.C. There you go.
That's about all you need to know.
All right. And I can clarify, it's not the White House. All right. Just to clarify that, I have to say that, because yeah.
Multiple reasons.
Yes. So what ended up happening there is I joined. I joined, and I had my 21st birthday there, and everybody there was either 28 or above. So I was the absolute youngest person on that contract. Now, people would come to me because of my demeanor and be like, "Oh yeah, what you about 29, 30?" And I'd be like, "Do I look like that?" And they say, "Oh no, you're very young looking, and yeah." Like, "Oh yeah, appreciate that. I'm actually 21. And all of a sudden, what? You could see the vindictive thoughts coming across their head. You're 21, working at the exact same job I am, but getting the exact same pay? What? How?" And that causes just so much. It's a lot of negative stuff, but I'm a naturally positive person. Okay, I'm energetic. I like to smile, and if you know me you don't know me, but if you listen to the other you listen to other podcasts, you will hear that, I look up to certain anime characters. So, of course, I'm about to be smiling. Of course, I'm about to be happy. You know what I mean? Of course, I'm going to be kind and I want to, help people and all that stuff, okay? So, everywhere I went for about 6 months, everybody, "Oh, you the youngster, huh? Yeah, you think you hot shit, don't you?" I'd be like, "Actually, no, I just, I actually can just, do my 12 hours and go home." But yeah, how about that Lakers game? Fuck the Lakers. I mean, all right, yeah. I mean, I was taught to respect my elders. I'm like, all right, what team you like? Why you want to know? What days you work? And that's also that. And for all my people who work private security or armed security, y'all know scheduling is always just a tough mother effer when dealing with this security company. If you're off weekends, somebody with seniority is gonna try and come and snake you for your schedule, and you take their schedule. Yes, it's a dog world out there. So, but luckily, the reason why I have my schedule is because I decided to join the military. So I have the military to back me up and say, "Oh, no, you're not going to work that schedule because we need you at this time." So they were hating on that because I would gladly tell them, "Oh, yeah, I only work 3 days a week, but I work 12 hours. I work 12 hours a day."
Now I'm gonna pause you right there because I can already feel the hate that they shared. I didn't because at that point we were like, I remember like us actually hanging out at that point because you were like out of state, right? Or were you actually like just living out there in DC?
No, I was just at work all the time because I had two
because
jobs.
After you joined the military, we pretty much really saw you at that point.
Yeah, 2 jobs.
So I could already see it. The fact that you were 21, backed by the military to work 3 days a week, still getting probably the same amount of money.
Yeah.
If not more, because you're
mad too.
Right? and you're 7 years prior, younger than everybody else. And it's just like, I can see them being mad at you. I can see it. And not once since I've known you, did I ever think you were older than you were. I was like, "Oh, this guy's young." Like, I don't know how they saw it, but
somebody come to you, "I did 3 tours on Mars. How you got this job?" You know what I'm saying?
I can see the vindictive out of that, bro. I can see it. I can feel it.
Yeah. So but it's funny because it's like I still was just me. I'm gonna show love. I'm gonna be happy regardless, okay? But it was always funny because I'm a person that's going to poke you. I'm gonna poke at you a little bit, and especially a younger me, all right? Like a younger me is so much more of an asshole than current me. Current me is an asshole if you're an asshole to me, all right? Or unless you're playing Smash. That's just totally different, okay? Now, of course, what I went and did is, "Oh, you're salty. Cool. Let's raise your blood pressure more." Okay? Now I'm gonna say, "Yes, I only work Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. I have Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sundays off." Yes, it is good to be me. I know. and I'm young and pretty. Thank you. So of course they're like, yo, you know, and they tried to get me out of that job for so many months, 7 months on end, you know, and with me being who I am and being raised by the goddess and the queen and, you know, the angel that my mom is and my village is it took one day for a person to sit down and really have a conversation with me to understand, like, oh, you're actually hella cool. You're nice. Like, usually we thought you were just a smart little dickhead who thought he knew everything. But no, you're actually nice. Like, I like you. Let's go out for drinks. I don't drink. Let's go out to just talk. Okay, you know. And after that day, more and more people came to actually be like, hey, what's up, youngster? What you doing today? Oh, let me guess, what you gonna do, play some video games? What you gonna do? You gonna hang out with your old ass girlfriend? At that time, I was in a relationship. My girl was a lot older than me, only like a decade and some change.
It's no big deal. It's only 10 years.
Yeah, 11 or 12. I think it was maybe a little bit more.
It's only half my life.
Yeah. But they say stuff like that. You know, of course, I get a little sensitive. Like, no, screw you. You know, I love her. You know, all that good stuff. I'm single now.
I think we said it in every episode so far.
Yeah.
You got the meter going way past red. They're fighting Jerry.
Don't hit me.
Yeah. But nah, man. It's all love, though. Really, it's all love. And literally after that day, I was able to really thrive in that building, and I learned quite a bit from that building and those people there. And just yesterday, I just seen one of the people that I used to work with at that building, and it was all love. It was all love. It was, man, I ain't doing nothing, man. You know, I'm still doing me. You know, I'm glad to see you got up out of there. You went and got your new career. And it was all love. So it came. The vindictiveness came from them looking at themselves and saying, man, I need to be doing better, because they felt like I was coming in there to take their job. They can't, like, man, this little young mother, man, he got good cartilage in the knees still, you know. Like, you know what I mean? Like, seriously, because, you know, you have to be physically, you know, you have to be there's a physical standard. I don't want to say you have to be physically fit, but there's a physical standard to be a private security guard, right. You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, I'm young, but, you know, I'm just trying to get paid. That's all I'm here for. I'm here to get paid and, you know, not get shot by some crazy motherfucker coming in here trying to get me up out of here so we can come go and shoot his boss, or she can go shoot her boss that sexually harassed or messed with them or anything like that, you know. And that's how, I mean, all that kind of ties into one another. And it's funny because, you know, you had to go through 6 months of everybody, and I worked in a huge building, so it was like I had like 380 to 400 coworkers. So imagine, you know, just you're the youngest, the absolute youngest on that contract, you know, and of course the older woman, like, oh, he young, he ain't making money like me. I know what your check's looking like. Hey, honey, you want some sugar?
There's only one cougar for me right now.
Yeah, there's only one. Shut up. Oh my god. I really hope she does not. She does not take offense to this podcast. I'm still gonna send it to her. But anyways, it's all love. It's all love, man. It really is all love. I might have to explain it again. But yeah, like, you know what I mean? So of course the guys who are the Cougars' age, Or like, she's taking my possibilities away. So that's just more vindictiveness, and you know, they saying that I really wasn't messing with nobody in there. Still not messing with anybody in there, and that, you know, on that level, you know, it's a professional level. It was all love after that, you know, and then it started to become more of a family, and it was just dope after that. And I worked there for about 5 years, and then, you know, of course I went on to move up to do different, better things that I chose to do in my life, but it turned from vindictive to benevolence, and you know, I want to say a relatively short time, but half a year is kind of a long time.
In a scheme of 5 years, it's still short.
Exactly, you know, it's still short. So that's the, you know what I'm saying, that's the good and the bad. You know what I mean?
We're gonna probably bring up this next topic. It's gonna be love and hate. It's gonna be about, you know, family and close, you know, family like cousins, aunts, uncles, everything like that. Kami, you got any stories about such things?
Yeah. Well, first I want to say, what hate and love is, family will cut you faster than anyone else. And I mean, think about it. They see you more than anyone else, depending on if you stay with them or if you tell them if you always talk to them and tell them what's going on in your life. But either way, you need to watch out for how they are doing. Because you telling them or them seeing you do so good could breed hate, when in reality it's supposed to be love. So I got a little story to tell. You know, obviously we not gonna say any names because I'm gonna keep everything drama free.
Right.
So that's just first and foremost. So I like this name because I heard it one time. So we gonna name the person that I'm talking about, or the people I'm talking about. It's 3 people. They're all gonna be named as Tacosallday. Okay. So I'm gonna give Taco a second.
Go ahead, fam.
Okay. Anyway, so you know, Tacosallday would come over the house, and Tacosallday would proceed to secretly break games and try to blame other people, even though there was nobody else there other than Tacosallday and my 2 friends that I know didn't do it because they were out with me when Tacosallday was at the house. Okay, they break the game, and then like, oh, I don't know what happened. I don't know. Then Tacosallday would proceed to get mad and start start fights with me. Always start fights, always try and like mess with my food before I eat it, and it's just like, bruh, like what's the issue? So Tacosallday, with one day, Tacosallday accidentally slipped up and was like, man, I wish I could have my own room like you. And I'm like, what you mean? You have your own room. I've been to your house. You have your fridge is full just like my fridge is full, except you got both parents. Well, you're always happy. Bruh, you're mad at me because I'm always happy. Why are you not always happy? What's the real issue here? So Tacosallday would say, well, you're always happy because you have all this love given to you by auntie and grandma, and your friends come over. Y'all have a good time. You go over to their house, have such a good time. You eat over there. They eat over here. They spend the night. Y'all go to Waterworld. And I'm like, Tacosallday, you have joined me on most of those endeavors. What are you talking about? Well, I can't always be here. So that's why you will break games, start fights, lie, mess up food, because you can't always be here? You're mad that my mom works 2 jobs to supply me with food and decent clothes. Well, how about the times where she came home where she was too tired to even talk to me, and I had to understand that? How about those times where I really wanted somebody to talk to? And of course, at this time, guys, just to let y'all know, it was house phones only, okay? I didn't get my first cell phone for a while.
Yeah.
So it wasn't no calling somebody's house at 7:30 at night. Nah, it's they getting ready for school the next day, and or the parents is using the phones. Because the parents is like, well, I ain't buying no cell phone when I got the house phone right here. It's extra bills. Why am I using that? That was the thinking back then, before our cell phones turned into laptops in our back pockets. But anyways, how about the times where, where my mom would tell me no, and I don't have anybody else to go to? How about those times? So he was hating on me and, my life that he got to be a part of quite frequently. Waterworld, Disneyland, or we called it Marine World. That's for my Californians who may be listening. Marine World, the one that was in Vallejo, the now that they call Six Flags. Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard of that.
Yeah. So we go to Marine World. We would go out. We would do all this fun stuff, and you're a part of it. You're telling me you can't always be here, so you're angry. So how about if I was like, Mom, I really don't feel comfortable, and I really don't want Trelante to come over anymore because of this. He has done this, and this. Then I would just beat you up. You can't beat me up. I have my big cousins beat me up every day. Okay, every day, for years and years and years. You can't beat me up. Excuse me. You can't beat me up. Okay, it's not gonna work that way. So he was steal what little games I did have. But he has more games than me. So he would do this because he's miserable and he hates the fact that no matter how little I had in comparison to him, I'm happy. So I'm guessing y'all wondering where this turns into love. right? It turned into love, I want to say a decade later, when I was like 23.
So recently.
It's 3 years ago? I guess that's recently. Yeah, when I was 23, it turned into love. We pretty much just got past it. And I had to be the bigger person because he did more to me than I did to him. Okay? Now, I did my fair share of being annoying and poking at you when I was young. But the stuff that he did, the taking the games, I didn't have that many games in the first place, the mess with my food, when my mom really wasn't, my mom was around, guys, but she had to work. You got to understand a single mother has to work to provide and to, sustain the quality of life that I had. I had nice clothes, I had decent shoes, and I had a roof over my head, and I had my own room, okay? To sustain that in California, you had to work at an unreal level. So she wasn't always home. So she would cook, and she didn't really want me cooking too much. And people who know me know why. It's not that I couldn't cook. It's the fact that I would cook and then I would get a great idea to do some crazy stuff, which we'll talk about in another podcast, maybe. But, it turned into love that, we I had to just pretty much forgive and not forget, but I had to pretty much forgive and let bygones be bygones to, when dealing with Trelante. Okay. When dealing with Trelante and whatnot. So, it took a while for it to turn into love. Now, it is imperative that I do tell you, I was not the one to initiate said love. I was going to leave it Like, hey, you mad because, you know, my mom loved me. Maybe your mom, you know, but nah, that's auntie. Screw that. She loved your ass. You had all that shit. Screw that. Anyway, you know what I mean? That's how I thought of it. Like, you had everything, and you did all this stuff, and you got to mess up, and you didn't get beat. Nothing happened to you. Screw that. They loved your ass. You just jealous, and you just hating on me because you were miserable because there was something that you weren't getting. Do I see what you weren't getting, Trelante? To this day, I will say no. But I know that there is help that was needed there. And it may still be needed. Who knows? But I just felt like, you know what? It's cool. I'm going to be the bigger person. And I'm going to allow there to be love because we are blood and we are family. And at the end of the day, we are all we got. So especially as, you know, black men, we all we got. For real, you know, I can't be affording it. Oh well, you know, you messed up my Final Fantasy VII, you know, on PS1, the third disc.
That one time back 10 years ago, 15 years ago, that was petty, but I'm still going to hold it against you because I don't feel like being a better person.
Exactly. You know, nah, we're not doing that. So, in conclusion, there was hate first, and then there was love last. And these are the points of jealousy that we have all been discussing on this podcast, you know. Detox or Taco, if y'all have any kind of experience that was
it's
like
about the same, so you can explain that.
It's about the same. So, like, our family, we haven't always been, you know, not that they're in family, but like our aunts and uncles and stuff, we haven't always been the closest family. Somebody has something, somebody gets mad. But yeah, somebody, you know, somebody has something, somebody else won't have something. They'll get mad, we'll get mad. We weren't invited, like me and, you know, Danny, like Taco's family, we weren't invited to a lot of stuff.
Anything.
They'll go somewhere, and then we went here, but you didn't invite us. They'll go somewhere, we went here, we went to eat out here, we went to the movies. They wouldn't invite us, but
the only time we ever got invited were to funerals.
yeah.
That's why I'll never go to funerals again because I'm done.
But like, even though like we don't know what was wrong, we never shut them off or shut them out. It's just we give them some time. We'll meet up at a family reunion, start talking again, and there wasn't a lot of jealousy out of our side. I don't know if it was out of their side either, but out of our side there wasn't any jealousy. It might have been hard times, anger, but
and a question of why didn't y'all help us?
Yeah,
at least something. We would always do this for you. At least help some way.
We'll help them in a heartbeat. But when you need help, when we need help, you couldn't find anybody. But I know we didn't harbor any jealousy or envy towards the family at all. But there were some hardships back in the past. We're fine now. Like, we're cool with most of our family now. It's just growing up, it was a lot of hate.
It was always usually for no reason either. Like, it was always unsuspecting, unnecessary, it was just unnecessary. We were just, let's say, we're out living our lives, we're in Virginia or whatever. We come back home to say what's up to everybody. And they're like, ugh. And I'm just like, where's this coming from? Why y'all so upset at us? We ain't do nothing to y'all. Next thing you know, we leave. They say, hey, we need some help. Can you help us? And we're like, all right, yeah, your family. What up? Sure, why not? And immediately helped them out. As soon as that was done, the deed was done. Next thing you know, why y'all here? Why y'all here? It was always like a feeling of they felt like they were better than us. Every time we just because I don't know why or what it was. It was just this feeling of they felt like they were superior simply because they just wanted to. Over the multiple years of asking what's going on, what's up, finally, at some point we just said, to hell with it, whatever. We're R6, that's all that matters, a 6. If they want to, they can be a part of our life. If not, it's no big deal. So I'm not really sure if there was necessarily hate or anything, because it's hard to understand because we don't know where they came from or anything, and they never talked to us.
But, like, even now, like, I don't harbor hate at all for any of it. Like, I love my family. You know what I mean? Like, when somebody gets sick, we'll watch their kids. I love their kids. You know what I mean? We're gonna be there. We're gonna help you, even if you don't help us. Even if we don't ask, we're still gonna help you. You know, no jealousy, no hate, no foul.
Because at the end of the day, you're still our family. So I don't have no ill will. I always ask the question, but why?
Oh, and not to mention me personally, like when I help somebody, I don't expect them to help me back either.
Yeah,
because like I don't.
Every action does not require a reciprocation. You don't need something to do something. If you want to do something nice, just for the sake of being nice, just do it. You don't gotta say, "I'll do this," but
you gotta do this for me. You gotta help me with this.
That's not necessary.
I'm gonna do it because I want to do it.
So y'all follow Stain. That's my hero.
Be good just to be good. Yes, indeed.
Yeah, I think we all follow that. I got a question though. So did y'all ever feel like there ever was a chance for there to be love on both sides?
Yeah.
We've always tried. Every time we'd reached out, we would always be like, we would always hope for hope. We would hope that there would be something good. We would expect that maybe this time would be different. Maybe hope this time would be different. We would always, at the end of the day, maybe like have in the back of our minds, maybe this time, maybe this time, maybe this time. Never did. Never happened. But even every time we reach out, we're like, maybe this time, maybe this time.
So now I have a question. Did you ever find out why it was shunned the outsider?
I don't know. We never got an answer.
You being the older one.
I think it might have been because
anything happened, a fallout between parents, maybe.
From what I understand, like my grandfather, for instance, when we were younger, he wouldn't allow us to play with anything, break all the toys up. Just real nasty to us.
Anytime that, like when my mom was a kid, anytime that she would get a bike or something, he would either give that to her sisters or brothers or break hers.
She was the youngest. And
what
I know now, like our second cousins, you know, he'll buy them bikes, toys, but like when we were young, he used to break our toys up. He was real mean to us and our cousin.
Yell at us, rail on us, everything,
so,
just shun us and everything.
But I don't know. I mean, now it's like it's cool now. You know what I mean?
So it's cool now I'm just about to. Now I got more questions. If that's okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
Y'all ever think about like, and it's gonna sound wild, but y'all understand my imagination runs at
let it run, bro.
Was there ever a chance that he was mad at mom because he possibly thought that she wasn't his and she thought that was an illegitimate child, and whoever looked at, you know what I mean? Like when you look at your aunties and your uncles, do they look smack alike like how y'all look alike?
Technically, no. Terrence and let's just say
our mom's brothers and sisters, their kids look just like them, to be honest.
Yeah, but like the aunts, they actually don't. It's just two of them look alike. Just two.
No, I didn't mean to get anything.
No, mom's oldest. Remember, mom's oldest.
She's youngest.
No, mom's oldest sister, and
yeah,
they look alike. Just dark skin.
No, they do.
Oh, so they look alike.
They do. Yeah. The other one is like a spitting image of him, but as a kid. But the other son is just, it's like, who's this guy? Who's riding him?
Yeah, I've never seen grandma and grandpa young. That's probably why.
I mean,
I've never seen.
I'm pretty sure grandpa looks the same as California.
Yeah, and Virginia.
Yeah, they look at the same anyway.
Yeah.
So
okay, yeah, I was just because it's like, well, maybe because I mean that makes no sense, especially because we as men we don't treat especially our little girls, man, hell no.
Her and us, it was always trash, always. Yeah, telling us get out, leave, move out. Here's a housing ad. Go there.
Wait, he gave you a house?
No.
Oh,
he was just saying here's a housing ad. Get out. That's how it was.
Oh, damn.
In our time of need, go ahead and get out.
But I don't like I don't like thinking about the past.
Because it's nothing but shit.
It's just me.
And it was never resolved because there was no conversation. They never spoke to
It's
us.
not even just this. It's everything. But
Yeah, from
I mean,
the
like,
get go,
yeah, like-
from getting to end.
Cause you the oldest, so you've been there. You've been there. You know.
He's
through-
got at least 6 years on what I haven't seen.
Exactly.
Long
So
time.
I'm just like, how was it for you? Like, is there like trying to get the good and the bad here? But man, I mean, this may have been.
The good is when they say hi back to us.
Damn. Okay. I mean, that's not. I don't think. My personal
It was even
belief
in
that's not love.
It's not.
My personal belief, but
That's what I'm saying. That's our good, and that's unfortunate because every family is different, and we would always hope that there would be.
damn.
So even now, I reached out. I said, "Hey, I'd love to say what's up to the kids and you." And because she's closer to our age, she's not like our parents' age. She's first cousin. So I was like, "Hey, let's reach out." She was like, "Hey, that's what's up. Let's do that." And I was like, "Let me say what's up to the kids, and I'll come get them, and we can do videos, go outside, do whatever." She was like, "I bet," because they were with us since they were born.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so she's probably the closest
I don't
cousin.
think he's ever met them.
No, he's never met them.
Okay.
Probably will next week.
Next week.
Probably, because I'm probably gonna get him next week. See what's up. Bring him over here.
Well,
Let's just
That-
say it's
so
in the past.
yeah, that's
But
in the past.
We move forward now. Everybody has a better relationship than we once had. Try to keep it that way.
So there's so there's growth.
This growth and this change, but it's definitely not what it used to be.
Not, okay, it's definitely not. So it's not as bad as it used to be,
No,
which
not
is
at all.
great. Okay, that's much better than ending. I didn't want to end the podcast.
No, I understand completely. But that's the problem with this relationship
Yeah.
that we have. I'm just like, I want to say hi, auntie, uncle, but I don't even want to say auntie because that means you respect them.
We just get off topic.
No, we're not on topic.
No, we're still on the same topic. We're still there.
Jealousy, hate,
Yeah,
love.
because
Yeah, that's
you
all
can't.
I'm
I can't say aunt because that would relate to family. You haven't been a family to me, so I call you what your name is.
Damn. Sheesh. Okay, that's interesting. Well, since there's growth, I'm just gonna attach to that.
I mean, maybe one day there will be, and we'll be able to say, "Hey, guess what? There's love now."
There's love.
But for now, we can say it's better than it was.
And better than it was is definitely still the right step towards the light
Yeah.
in a positive direction. So it may not be love. There, for those who out there who maybe have went through this similar situation
Or still currently going through it.
currently going through a situation, or even if you see telltale signs before you get to the situation, just know that all things do come to an end, especially hate, and including love comes to an end. But usually, I would like to say, in a perfect world, hate does come before love. In a perfect world, and then once hate is done, it's love's turn. But yeah, so I personally do not have any more experiences that I'm going to share right now.
Right.
However, if y'all will run with me through these, through the good and the bad of all the jealousies real quick, So the first one I said, Taco.
Yeah, the frenemies. There's the constructive, the destructive types.
Yeah, so I mean, that's good. And then those are two forms of jealousy. One being negative and the other being positive. So you still have the choice to go down said path. Always remember that.
And it also doesn't necessarily mean that those are the only two. It's just what we've experienced, what he's shown, what he said. There could be like 5 different types of frenemies, but that's just the one that we went with today.
Exactly. And detox, you with the coworker one. And addicted.
The vindictive coworker that's now my friend.
Yeah, it's now kind.
That's
but
still a
nothing.
crazy story.
Definitely.
I can tell him.
Definitely crazy story. You know what I'm saying? And then she was vindictive, and then it took, a little bit of outside help. And now she's benevolent. Now she's giving out hugs. Hey, friend.
I'm talking about like 2-minute hugs.
A 2-minute hug.
I'm trying to walk away and she's still grabbing me by the neck. I was like, yo, let go of me.
Okay.
John Jones shit.
Yeah, okay. And then, of course, we had family with the hate and the love, So we got 6 forms on this channel. We got 6 forms of jealousy. 3 being negative and 3 being positive. But almost all of the negative will always derive from a need, and I call that need help. They need help, whether it be professional like Detox has said, or it's just they need help to be loved. You can help them, So
yeah. You gotta help them, find a way to understand them. If you can understand them, then you can get one step closer to changing that negative jealousy to a positive, working towards having a smoother connection,
Exactly. And then and it's also gonna be a process. So like I said, you guys gotta trust the process. So it's gonna be a thing where you gotta convert the negative energy. Now, like all of the motivational speaker says, oh, you mad? Or you feel like quitting? Well, you got enough energy to quit. You got enough energy to turn that negative energy into fuel to your fire to keep you going forward. It's the same thing, you know what I'm saying? You got to keep it going, and I believe it's going forward. You can do it.
Yeah.
You can do it.
It may be hard, it may take time, but you can always move forward.
Yes. So, well,
I think that's a good stopping point.
Let me end off. You never want to end a relationship or anything with hate, because it will ruin you. Like physically, mentally, it will tear at you from the inside. So the best thing to do is forgive and forget. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like no matter what happened, look towards the future. You don't want to, oh, that person did that to me, that person did that to me. I hate them for the rest of my life. That will eat at you literally forever.
That's true. Although I won't say forget, because I'll never forget anything anyone ever does to me, ever.
Yeah.
So forgive and move on.
Yeah.
Forgive,
possibly,
not forget.
and move on.
Because if you forget, you'll wind up making that same error or mistake or whatever you want to call it that you made before.
Right.
But you want to forgive. That's the one thing. Like when I was in basic, I talked to a pastor. He was like, "You gotta forgive." I was like, "Yeah, you know what? You're right."
Now, yeah.
So yeah, I'm just gonna agree. Just just end it off, and don't try to harbor the hate, the negative.
If it let it fester, that could end you, bro.
Then you turn to Jared.
Yeah.
I got comments on that, but we're going to end it there. I hope you guys enjoyed this podcast. It was a bit long. I'm going to take some time to get through it, make it nice and smooth. I hope you guys enjoyed, and as always,
That's Kami.
Detox.
and Tacos all day. We shall see you in another podcast. Deuces.